This week in Pokemon Go, we are getting Professor Willow's 10th anniversary birthday event, and I will say this is one of those events you absolutely do not want to miss, because there is a chance you can get yourself an incredibly rare shiny, and it could potentially be the rarest shiny in the game after this event ends. And we're also going to see the return of Solgaleo in raid battles, and this time you could potentially get the shiny form for the very first time. I'm going to be going over all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Hey, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well and your week is starting off great, and let's get right into it. Alright, so we got a plethora of different events and a bunch of stuff coming to Pokemon Go during this week. First and foremost, we are getting the Professor Willow's birthday celebration event, and we also have an Ultra Unlock attached to it. With this event, we're going to be able to get Professor Willow's assistant Pikachu for the very first time, and it looks like this might be the only time we will be getting this Pokemon for the time being. And that means if you're lucky enough to get the shiny version of this Pokemon, it could potentially be the rarest Pokemon in the game up until this point, just because we may not potentially get it again in the future. And that means if you happen to get lucky enough to get the shiny version of this, then you're going to be one of the small number of people who will have it. But yeah, there's also a bunch of other stuff that's going to be happening during this week. We are going to be seeing the return of Solgaleo, but this time they're debuting the shiny form of this Pokemon, which means if you want a shiny Solgaleo, your opportunity is going to come during this week. So let's kick things off by talking about this Professor Willow's birthday event, and then afterwards let me go over the weekly content you could look forward to. The Ultra Unlock 10th Anniversary Edition is going to be happening on July 21st at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until July 27th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. Now, in terms of the featured Pokemon, there are going to be various Pokemon wearing hats from previous events, and that includes Raticate wearing a party hat, Nidorino wearing a party hat, Grimer wearing a party hat, Gengar and Wobbuffet both wearing a party hat. Now, during this event, these are going to be the event bonuses. From July 21st until the 23rd, we're going to have 6 times the amount of experience whenever you catch Pokemon, and that bonus is going to be up to 8 times from July 23rd until July 25th, and then from the 25th until the 27th, it's going to be boosted yet again to 10 times the amount of experience. Now, when you reach certain milestones with the Go Pass for this event, you're going to get double the amount of candy at Tier 1, which is rank 10, and if you have the Go Pass Deluxe, this bonus is actually going to be 3 times the amount of candy. And if you reach Tier 2, which is rank 20, you're going to get an increased chance to get Candy XL whenever you catch Pokemon. There's also going to be a Masterwork research which is available for purchase, and this is going to award you with Shiny Shaman. However, if you've already completed this Masterwork research from previous times, then you will not be able to purchase it again. Now, during this event, you're going to see the following wild encounters. From the 21st until the 23rd, you're going to see Pokemon from the Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn region, and then from the 23rd to the 25th, you're going to see Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos region Pokemon, and then from the 25th to the 27th, you're going to see Alola, Galar, and Paldea Pokemon. And then you're also going to be able to encounter Beldum, Gible, and Dreepy from Lure modules. And then in 3-star raids during this event, this is where the party hat Pokemon come into play. Raticate, Nidorino, Gengar, Wobbuffet, all wearing a party hat, are going to be in 3-star raids during this entire event. And then in 1-star raids, we're going to have Grimer wearing a party hat, and that's also going to be throughout the event. Now, during this event, if you evolve any of the starter Pokemon, you're going to be able to get their Community Day moves. And that is actually very key because these Community Day moves are what makes most of these Pokemon extremely powerful. Frenzy Plant is going to be available if you evolve any Grass-type starter Pokemon. Blast Burn is going to be available for any evolutions of Fire-type starter Pokemon. And then finally, Hydro Cannon is going to be obtainable on any starter Water-type Pokemon that you evolve during this event. And then of course, this is information we already know, but this is the event where you're going to get Professor Willow's birthday research. This is going to give you encounters with Professor Willow's assistant Pikachu, and that is definitely something you will want to pay attention to because this could be the only opportunity you can get it. And there will also be field research tasks, which will award you with additional Professor Willow's assistant Pikachu, as well as Pokecoins. Now, also during this week, we're going to be getting a timed research for Mega Rayquaza. On Saturday, July 25th at 10 o'clock a.m. until Sunday, July 26th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time, we are going to be getting the O-Zone Ascent. This is going to be a timed research that's going to be available for a limited time, and it's going to award you with a meteorite, which you need in order to Mega Evolve Rayquaza. This is a very important item that you absolutely need, and you definitely do not want to miss out on this one. On top of Meteorite giving the move Dragon Ascent, it is what is required in order for your Rayquaza to Mega Evolve. So, on top of you getting a Meteorite, you will also want to make sure you use it on the right Rayquaza in your collection. And also, just like the other timed research, this is going to be available for just a limited time, and you must claim it and complete it before Sunday, July 26th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. Now, there's also going to be a paid timed research, which I believe is just going to double up your Meteorite and also give you some Rayquaza Mega Energy, as well as an encounter with Rayquaza itself. This is going to be $4.99 USD, and it's going to coincide with the free timed research. The tasks associated with this timed research must be completed before Sunday, July 26th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. Very important. Even if you pay for it, you will still need to complete it within the limited time. Alrighty, now it's time to go over the weekly content, starting with Dynamax Battles. Now, during this week, there's going to be a very interesting Max Pokemon that's going to be in Max Battles, and that is going to be Dynamax Trubbish. Now, Trubbish on its own may not necessarily be battle relevant, but it will give you a lot of bonus Stardust every time you catch it. And considering that these Max Battles are essentially free content, you could actually farm up some pretty decent Stardust with Max Battles. So, if you need some Stardust, do consider doing a couple of Max Battles during this week. Now in 5-star raids, we're going to see Solgaleo return to raid battles, and I will say this is actually interesting because we're going to be seeing the shiny of Solgaleo for the very first time. If you want this particular shiny, just keep in mind that starting on July 22nd, you're going to be able to raid Solgaleo for its shiny. And then coinciding with Solgaleo in Mega Evolution raids, we're going to get Mega Salamence, which is actually a top tier Mega Evolution. We've been getting some pretty good Mega Evolutions during this month. Do not miss out on it if you do not have the Mega Energy for this particular Mega Evolution. And then when it comes to Shadow Legendary raids until the end of the month, you're going to be able to get Shadow Palkia. So that is actually a really good one. If you want to get yourself a Shadow Palkia, make sure you do a couple of Shadow Legendary raids during this week. And finally, that leaves us with what's going to be active within the Go Battle League. Now, until this Tuesday, July 21st, we're going to continue to have the Open Master League along with the Retro Cup Great League Edition, and then afterwards, for the rest of the week, we're going to have the 3 basic leagues: the Great League, Ultra League, and the Master League. If the Master League is your best league, then good news, this entire week the Master League is going to be open, but if you want to do some Great League battles or Ultra League battles, that's also going to be available starting this Tuesday. Definitely get your battles in because we are approaching the end of the season, and you do want to get the highest ranks possible for the best end of season rewards. Alrighty, there you go. This is what's happening in Pokemon Go during this week. The big highlight is, of course, the Professor Willow's birthday event, which is going to be pretty cool. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to be happening with this event. In particular, we can get that Professor Willow's assistant Pikachu. It's a very special costume Pikachu. And then of course, you'll be able to get the Community Day moves for any starter Pokemon through this event, which I think is really cool because for a lot of the starter Pokemon, getting the Community Day move is what makes them really powerful. For example, Charizard with Blast Burn. That's a really powerful Pokemon, especially when you Mega Evolve it. Blaziken is another one that's really good. And then of course, there are the water starters like Swampert. They're all really good in PvP when you get Hydro Cannon. And then of course, Venusaur and Mega Sceptile, they're the top grass types in the game if you get Frenzy Plant on them. So definitely utilize that particular bonus. You will definitely want to evolve your starter Pokemon and get their Community Day moves. That's what makes them extremely powerful. And also, as I mentioned before, make sure you complete the timed research for the free Meteorite and Rayquaza encounter. That's going to be on Saturday for the O-Zone Ascent event. You do not want to miss out on that. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Is there something in particular during this week that you are looking forward to? Make sure you share what that is, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it and you want to support my channel, best way you could do that is hitting the like button for this video, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the hype button if you're watching this on mobile, and also make sure you turn on the notification bell after you subscribe so you know exactly when I upload videos. And also check out the links in the description below. One of them is to my Patreon page, and if you join my Patreon, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, that's the way you can do it. Make sure you go and check it out. And that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you have yourself a great week. My name is Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video.